Hi everybody. As you can see, the pumping is still working, but it does it in a kind of complicated way. So I'm not really satisfied. And I've also heard some news about FTB Unstable. Specifically that it has in fact stabilized. Perhaps congealed would be the better word. The point being that it's no longer updating. They're no longer putting stuff into it. So I have decided to give all the mods a test with my save game from Unstable. If you're watching it now, then this test was probably successful. Either that or things went so horribly wrong that I felt the need to tell you about it. And I don't know which of those that could be just yet. But I'm sure I'll be able to tell you by the end of the episode. Well, that's not a terribly bad glitch. That seems to be working about as well. Well, I can't tell how well it's working until I pump some more lava into it. These are different. So clearly there have already been some updates. Oh. We no longer have that expanded chest mod. Which means I just lost a whole truckload of wood. But I still have plenty left. Drat. Okay, that seems to have fixed it. Sort of. Compact storage isn't in the All the Mods mod pack. So I installed it, which brought this chest back. Sort of. It's got no spaces in it. But it's there enough for me to get rid of it. And let's see, this is back. Okay, so that seems to be fixed. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. I want plates of iron. Which we will get from the metal former. Well, right after I started making plates, the game crashed again. But I updated a Melissa's core, and that seemed to take care of it. You probably noticed in the last episode that I added quite a bit to my basement, and I'll be covering more about that later. Right now I have a thing I want to test. since all the mods allows me to play with a lot of the mods that I couldn't get running in Unstable, I am able to work with immersive engineering as well as mechanism. And both of them have pumps. Although the mechanism one requires osmium, which I have not mined any of yet. And I probably will have to go somewhere else to mine it. So we're going to see how this fluid pump does. There we go. And it looks as if it's pulling from the most distant blocks first, much like a Buildcraft pump does. I'm going to get the rest of my tanks and test some more. Alright, that seems to be doing exactly what we want it to. And in a few minutes, we will take these tanks upstairs and make a lot of obsidian. All right, there we go. And that leaves us with 188 obsidian. I think that should be enough to work with, but if not, well, I can always pump more lava. And I've also just remembered that there's drums. At any rate, I did all that so that I could create shielding for a generator from deep resonance. And for that, I'm also going to need some crystals, which is going to require this smelter, this purifier, and this crystallizer. And the gap in here is going to be for the laser and lens. And for that, I'm going to need some emeralds. I don't have any of those yet, but there's a village east of me. So I think what I'm going to do next is go see what they're willing to buy. East is the other way. And village. And this one wants leather. That should be no problem. This guy, I don't care what he wants. Potion of leaping. Alright, and there's one that's buying paper. And several apiarists in this town. Alright. I'm going to go make some paper and harvest some leather and come right on back. Okay. I managed to trade for exactly the number of emeralds I need, and I decided to name this town Sting's Gulch, because there are at least 3 apiarists here who tend to bees, and because this dry desert town definitely looks like a gulch to me. I'm not sure exactly what a gulch is, but I'm certain this town is one. And here's something else I should probably mention. There seems to be a problem with loading up these areas when I leave them and come right back. Relogging seems to fix it, but still, not really the sort of thing you'd want while running a multiplayer server, is it? Okay, I'm going to relog. And back again. So yeah, this sort of thing is definitely a problem. And I'm going to have to decide how much of a problem it is. And it could be a problem with simply transferring this one save over into a different mod pack. Or it could just be the fact that we have so many of the bleeding edge mods in this pack, many of which still have some bugs to work out. And I suppose time will tell about that. We'll go ahead and put the laser over here. And put a tank here for it to zap. And we want to get some resonating ore. Now this infusing laser requires crystals, and more than that. And we don't actually have enough to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is make a few crappy crystals. And without purifying them or anything, we're going to put those straight in the crystallizer just so we can melt those down to go into the infusing laser. Then we can work on some proper crystals. But before that, we need to run some power lines to these. Like that. And this is not going to do well without lava. And that noise is going to get really annoying after a while. So we'll just pick this up. And set it over there until we want to use that again. Okay, we're going to collect some more lava. And now we should be able to get a better look at how these work. And it seems to be working very nicely. So we'll just do a quick time lapse as we watch how this lava gets picked up. Okay, so it works a lot like an endothermic pump, except replacing the blocks with cobble instead of smooth stone. And I'm okay with that. I think I would be even more okay with it if it actually did just remove the liquids, because then I could run up and down here and look for diamonds. But just the same, there are definitely uses for it doing this too. At any rate, I have that lava I needed. Oh, cool. I could turn that on and off. That's pretty dandy. And we just pick it up with a pickaxe. Okay, so we have our lava, we have our power, and I am setting up these tanks for their inputs and outputs. To go into the machines that I want them to go into. At least I think that's how this works. I will certainly find out anyway. And crappy crystal. So that gives me a little bit more to feed into the laser. But I've developed one other problem. I don't have enough resonating ore to make another crystal. It takes 30 ore to make one crystal, and I'm down to 15. But I think I have found a better way to mine for it, mechanically, which we'll be covering next episode, because this is already running a bit long. As for the test, I'm going to say that all the mods has passed. So I'll be moving this series over to a new playlist and naming it All the Mods, starting next episode. Until then, have some fun, build something cool, and have a nice day.